So you're in transit, and the engine warning lamp on the dash illuminates. Well, what does this mean, and what should I do? Well, first, let's clarify the 3 engine warning lamps that are located on the dash. One lamp is illustrated by a small engine icon, and when lit is amber. It is commonly called the MIL or malfunction indicator lamp. This lamp indicates an engine emission related fault, including, but not limited to, the exhaust after treatment system. The truck can be driven for a short period of time, but needs to be repaired before a more progressive, serious condition such as derate or shutdown occurs. The check engine light is also an icon of an engine, and when lit is also amber. The noticeable difference is the word check appears in the icon. This lamp indicates an undesirable engine condition is detected or recorded. The vehicle can still be driven, but if the condition gets worse, the stop engine light or engine protection light will illuminate. The stop engine light is an icon of an engine block, but is illuminated in red, and the word stop appears in the icon. This indicates a serious fault that requires the engine shut down immediately. The engine ECU computer will reduce the maximum engine torque and speed, and if the condition does not improve, will shut down the engine within 30 seconds of the light illuminating. The driver must safely bring the vehicle over to the side of the road and park and shut down the engine as soon as possible. If the engine shuts off while the vehicle is in a hazardous location, you can cycle the key off and restart after a few seconds. Keep in mind, it'll probably only run for about 30 seconds and you could be causing engine damage. So in our case, I notice it is the check engine lamp that's illuminated on the dash. I would immediately check all of my gauges, and if no fault is seen, I would drive to the first safe place to park, shut down, and perform an engine inspection. During our under the hood inspection, we're going to be checking the oil level, the coolant level, and looking for any external leaks. When I check the oil level, if I see that it's too low, of course I would need to top it off. On the other hand, if it's too high, it could indicate fuel or coolant getting into the oil. If you believe either one of these 2 conditions exist, do not restart the engine. Well, in this case, our oil level is just fine, so we're going to check the coolant on the other side. Well, I checked the engine coolant and it is low. However, I can still see it in the bottom of the tank. Keep in mind, it was only our check engine light and not the stop engine light that was on, and the engine temperature gauge was reading in the normal range. I could drive this vehicle to the next nearest location to top off the coolant. Also, keep in mind, when removing the radiator cap, exercise caution and never remove the cap if the engine's overheating. When topping off the coolant, remember to use only ethylene glycol low silicon based antifreeze. That is spec for diesel. And remember, most antifreeze comes in a concentrated form and needs to be mixed 50-50 with a low hardness water. One thing you should know, that if you mix the antifreeze too strong, too much antifreeze and not enough water, it could fool the low coolant sensor. This would turn on the check engine light even though the coolant is at the right level. Also, keep in mind the coolant system requires SCAs, supplemental coolant additives. This prevents liner pitting, and the level of concentration should be checked as soon as possible if you added, say, more than a gallon. Well, now that we're done checking the engine fluids and topped off the coolant, it's time to restart the engine to see if that took care of the problem. Okay, well, our check engine light is off, so that was an easy fix. However, if the check engine light would have still been on, we would need to take the vehicle to a repair center to have it fixed.